Greetings, my people. It's Mr. PDT yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. Whilst we are still at it, as we are still beaming light on doctrinal errors that are being preached by these African pastors, prophets, apostles, and bishops and their heretic teachings, I thought I should throw in one of the most controversial preachers as well, called Abel Damina. I'm sure most of you know him because of some of his controversial teachings.
Are we teaching here? God didn't tell Noah to build ark. God never asked Noah to build ark. Noah decided to build ark as his way of communicating what God revealed to him.
Okay, before you proceed, when it comes to Damina, when it comes to Mr. Abel Damina, I think we must make an exception. This fella has been trying also to align the Church of God. He has been trying also to enlighten Christians by telling them practical things that actually work. And he has been dismissing all these prosperity gospels and all these gimmicks that are being performed in African shrines. He has really stood tall and he has become a thorn in the flesh of most African preachers because he has been exposing it and actually telling the people the truth, that all these things that they call miracles don't exist. And he has been bashing so many of these miracle monies. He has been bashing so many of these prosperity teachings. For that, we'll make an exception. And we'll just make this as an advice to Mr. Abel Damina when it comes to his teachings and his doctrinal entry point to matters that have to do with scripture. And this is what I have to say, Mr. Damina. My brother, with what you have been doing, with the work that you have done so far, we really appreciate you. And with some of the messages that you have put across, we really appreciate them because they have actually enlightened so many gullibles that have been falling prey to these other vouchers. I'm not making an exception or putting you aside or saying that you are the best amongst them all. No, my brother. The truth at the end of the day is you are a businessman. You and I, we really know that you're not really in this to save people's souls. You are also just trying to make $1 out of 50 cents. You have no intention whatsoever to uplift anyone in any way. You're very good, intelligent, and so smooth, eloquent in your speech. But that doesn't make you a true servant of God. Your teachings are not really in alignment with the true gospel of Christ. The area that you are probably the best at is exposing charlatanism. And I would say if you stay in that lane, you can gain quite a mileage. But when it comes to doctrine, my brother, you have been found in error not once, several times. I know sometimes you do these things for trending, for likes, so that you can trend at a particular point in time. But it's not once that you have gone off route. It's not once that you have off-ramped when it comes to doctrine. You have said a lot of atrocious things, given different type of revelations that are not in alignment with the truth. And you try to use these big vocabularies to confuse masses, to make them believe that you probably have a different revelation, a special revelation about the scripture. But I'll say this to African people, I'll say this to Christians. There is nothing in this book, there's nothing in this holy book that has been put here in any ambiguous terms. Everything in here is simplified. You don't need any other revelation to understand the scripture. God is not playing a game with people that he can send a message that is encrypted. This message is plain and simple. Read it at surface value and just pray to God for understanding. When you start coming with revelations, that's when you start hearing people like Chris Oyakilome telling you about 5G being connected with things like Satanism. When you open this door of thinking that these people are hearing something different than what has been put in here, that's when the likes of Abel Damina will come to you and start telling you that God did not tell Noah to build an ark. That's a pure lie. That's Abel Damina lying through his own teeth. And he'll try to make an explanation of what he tried to mean. And I'll play it so that you can also hear for yourself. I know most of you will jump in quickly to say, you must have listened to the full message. Sometimes there's really no need to listen to the full message when someone off ramps. In this case, Abel Damina is lying. He's lying to his people. He does not know what he's talking about. He was just trying to trend. He was just trying to get likes, loves, and traffic. Otherwise, these are things that we should now start dealing with and making sure that these people don't take chances when it comes to the scripture. The most dangerous preachers, my people, are not these ones that are faking miracles. The most dangerous elements in Christianity are not these ones that are doing fake prophecies. The most dangerous ones are the ones that are peddling on doctrine. Because doctrine hits you hard. Doctrine has to do with your belief system. If you get brainwashed with doctrine, you are gone forever. So we must never show mercy when it comes to doctrinal issues. The things that they teach are the things that will determine where you're going to end. And if most of you believe in what they teach, and if what they teach is wrong, and if it is heretic, then you're all destined to be doomed. So I want you to continue listening to the explanation that Abel Damina gave in as far as God having not assigned Noah to build the ark. Just check it out.
The message behind the ark, the flood, and the tabernacle was things that are not seen. So you look at ark, but the message is not the ark. The things you see were made of things not seen. That is, the message behind the scene is different from the scene. You see ark, you see flood, but the message behind that is not the ark, it's not the flood. The ark and the flood is used to reveal the message which you can't see, which is Christ. I'm teaching good. Look at that scripture, verse 7 of Hebrews 11. Of things not seen at yet. That's what God told Noah. Then Noah now moved with fear. And Noah on his own prepared an ark as his way of communicating what God told him, which they couldn't understand without the ark to communicate. Are we teaching here? God didn't tell Noah to build ark. God never asked Noah to build ark. Noah decided to build ark as his way of communicating what God revealed to him. The New Testament reveals the Old Testament. Have I taught you that before?
There is the explanation, as most of you will be demanding to have an understanding or to justify the heretic teachings of Mr. Damina. Before we even go further, let me just put this into context and open the scripture for your sake so that we can analyze whether God instructed Noah to build the ark or it was Noah's idea to build the ark. Let's open Genesis 6, verse 14, and then we'll jump over to 20. It reads, "So make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in it. Coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for it, leaving below the roof an opening 1 cubit high all around. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks." Let's jump to 22. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Mr. Damina, it was not Noah's idea to build the ark. It's God who told Noah to build the ark. In your sayings, you are saying that Noah built the ark as a way of revealing what God had communicated with him. That's a blatant lie. You're lying and you are in error. You need to correct some of these, your heretic teachings. Do not lie to the masses, my brother. If you run out of things, conspiracies to run, try to talk about things that are around the world. Do not play games with the scripture. Stay clear out of it. There are souls that are at stake. And I know there are men that are already trying to justify or defend Mr. Damina in his error. He knows he's in error. And now you know he's in error. Make reference to the scripture and let me know if Abel Damina is in his right senses saying that Noah built the ark out of his own revelation of what God had communicated with him, or if it is indeed God that told Noah to build the ark. Till I meet you again on the next episode of the Ladderman series, it's Mr. PDT and I'm out.